Here's a very quick video to show the progress on the new DM3 voice display and some of the connection options. As you can see, it is a single board now, which is actually a 4-layer board. I've not fitted all of the components yet, we're still waiting for a few components, but you can see these standoffs are what will be fabricated into the dash, and then it will be fitted to the dash by 4 screws. We have a number of connectors on this new unit. This 9-way socket here, the old versions also had a 9-way socket, but that 9-way socket was to take power and signals in. This one isn't. This is an industry standard RS-232 serial comms port, so this is not used for connection of the signals, the power signals. This is just for communications. The main connector, which will be shared between all of the new Series 9 units, will be this 10-way JST connector, and that carries power and ground, which is 12-volt power and a ground connection, plus the standard push buttons, the 2 push buttons and the switch, and a couple of signals which are common to all the new Series units, which are a connection to indicate that the lights are on, and secondary ignition power. There's also a reset signal on that connector. This connector here is specifically for module specific connections, things that are specific to a particular module. So everything that's on DM3 only will be on here, and that will include a number of signals which allow the side indicators to be fully functional, including left and right turn signals, high and low beam signals, signals for the nose lights, signals for the fog lights, rear window defroster if it's fitted, low oil pressure, and a brake warning. And also connections for here, which are like fasten belts, the check engine signal, and a signal from the alternator to indicate the battery state. Other connectors on here include, if you don't want to put all of the module specific signals in, you can just put the normal auto and pursuit connectors on that 3-way header there. We have the ICSP connector for reprogramming the microcontroller, which is a PIC microcontroller. We have a little jumper which allows us to change over the audio source between the onboard microphone and a audio line-in, which goes in via this RCA phonotype connector. That's currently in the mic position. Just moving it over to the other position will allow it to take its input from the line input. If you don't want any of the functional signals in, you just want it to work as a voice display and have everything else in show mode, you can just put power and ground in on that 2-way terminal connector there. There's also accommodation for a fuse, which I haven't soldered in yet because I want to put those surface mount resistors in first to allow me to solder them easier. And we have an onboard microphone, an onboard microphone is there, and an onboard speaker right there. You can see that these DIL sockets for the light bars on the outside are actually soldered to the one side of the board. And the reason for that is because there's so much stuff on this board that there's not room. If I put the holes through, if I put pin and holes right through the board, there wouldn't be room for all the other electronics. At the top there we have a number of transistors and resistors to allow us to connect to the dashtop indicators, and we can drive those either high or low depending on the setting in the trim file. These transistors here are for the multiplex display to select the channel, and the multiplex display now works on the 12-volt supply so that it doesn't overload the regulator, which I haven't fitted yet. And in order to achieve that, we have to change the 5-volt signals from the microcontroller into 12-volt signals, and that's done by these transistors here and these transistors here. These ones here, you see the outputs from this buffer drive the voice display outputs directly through resistors, but to drive the side indicators we go through these transistors down the side here. So watch this space because it should be finished within the next few days, and we'll be able to put some software in and hopefully see it working.